Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you guys know, in our last tutorial, we had talked about hooks. What are hooks? How it comes into the market of React.js? What are the impact of hooks with functional component? We had discussed all those things in details. So in this tutorial, we will be talking about JSX. Let's go ahead and discuss what is JSX. JSX is a JavaScript extension for it's like a JavaScript extension that is same as HTML or XML that will be understood by the browser. Writing XML like code for element and component, JSX is same like a code that is near to XML or HTML. JS tags have tag name, attribute and children similar to XML and HTML, you can say again. JSX is necessity to write React application. For sure, it's very necessary to learn and write all your application with React.js with JSX in React.js. That you will understand later on in the practical example. I will be explaining later on. JSX makes your code simpler and elegant. That also once we will write code, you will understand it much better that how JSX makes your code easy to write and understandable. JSX ultimately transpired the pure JavaScript code who's understood by the browser. Any kind of code, whatever is written in the JX, it will be converted to JavaScript that will be understandable by the browser. Let's move ahead to our visual code and try to create a JSX element and with JSX one component and without JSX. This is our project and it is running very normally in where we left last time. Let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and show you. See, I am hello world from functional component. What we have done until last video, it's there. Let's me move ahead and try to create another component. I'll create another component with new file greet.js. RFC is the shortcut to create functional component. So we had created a default functional component by using shortcut. Let me change a little bit in the JSX. I will say write down in h1 tag greeting from greet component. So our normal component with JSX is ready. I know you guys are thinking like it's not a JSX, it's an HTML, but in React it's a JSX, it's not an HTML. There are some differences between this language and HTML. I'll be telling you later on in the current video. Let's move ahead and try to import this component in our application component, so we will make it linked with our application. So we had imported the greet component here. Let's pass this nested component down to see how it looks like. Let me move ahead to my browser and I'll show you. See, as you guys can see, it's appearing here in the third line, greeting from greet component. Very elegant, very simpler, very easy to understand by using JSX how to create a React component. So let me move ahead and show you another way without JSX how you can create an elements or write a HTML or write a code that how you can create HTML components without JSX. So by using React.createElement function, you can create any component. This function will take at least 3 parameters as an input. Let me move ahead and give first parameter as an input, that is our div. We need div. Second parameter, for example, I'll give ID. Second parameter is taking actually an object or JSON of your attributes. For example, the div tag have some attributes like ID, like class name. So we will be passing those here. I will say that the class name ID for this div should be greet, and the inner text should be same as what we had written here before. Let me copy and paste it, and now you guys can see our component. So let's move ahead and see in the browser how it looks like. As you guys see, greeting from greet component is appearing as a normal text. but we don't need it. We need it to be in h1 tag. Let me wrap that component with h1 tag. Let's move ahead and see in the browser. No, it's not the same thing like what we are looking for. It's appearing as a text. In JavaScript, in the create element tag, there is another functionality. You can pass as much parameter as you want. So let me pass this h1 as third parameter, and the fourth parameter will be my text. And you guys can see still it's not appearing as expected what we are looking for. So this h1 tag will be created how? There is one way to create this h1 tag back again, is like you can create later on again another nested React.create component, create element function, in which you can pass first element as h1 and second element as same. I will pass an id, okay, and the third element will be your message, and id I will say it's heading. For example, the id is heading. So let me take it to the double line so it will be easier for you guys to understand. So let's see, the first tag is open here and the second tag is open here. So let's save it and let me move ahead and see in the browser how it looks like. So now actually I am achieving my goal. Let me see the IDs are appearing or no that I am passing in the second parameter. Let's see, ID greet is appearing, ID heading is appearing as well. Let me move ahead and pass here the class also. For example, I say class is also greet class. Okay, let me hit save and let's go ahead, and as you guys see the class is appearing as greet class. But you can see this is showing me in the console invalid DOM property class. So HTML have ability to find to pass classes as a property, but in JSX class is the word reserved for JS classes or ES6 JS class. You cannot pass your class by using class. It should be changed to class name. This is the way to pass class. As you guys can see now, if I will remove this one and I'll just rerun the code, now there is no error occur in my console, or there is no warning in my console, and I'm achieving the exact component that I want. So now you guys can decide the way of writing code with JSX is easier or without JSX is easier. Here if I have to pass a class name, for example, let me comment it and let me just uncomment this one. For example, I'll uncomment this one and I will pass this one as, sorry, I will pass this one as here in the div same class name, like class name and greet class. Here also I will show you, if I will pass it as class it will not work. Like for example, if I pass class and I move on to my browser, you will see the error again. So I should pass it as class name. So this is the difference of HTML and JSX. So you guys know, like, it's very easy to write code with in this way in XML type or HTML type by using JSX. It's near to your XML and it's easy to understand, it's easy to handle, you can identify the issues very easily, but here it will be much difficult. This is just a two components and you guys can see how the code getting complex. And just imagine if you have around 100 or 200 components, a complex 100 and 200 elements, a complex component you have to make. So in that scenario, what will happen? Let me move ahead and check the differences of JSX. Let's see the differences. Class is changing to class name. As you guys see, we had discussed about it. For in HTML is changed to HTML4 in JSX. Then there are some things, some naming convention changed to camel case, For example, on-click event was in HTML on-click in small letters, but here in JSX it's a camel case letter, same as tab index. So that's it for JSX explanation. I hope you guys understand it and you like. Please don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. Stay tuned for the next video. Inshallah, see you soon. Allah Hafiz.